Warriors fans, how's it going? Welcome into Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Allie Barefoot. And unfortunately, the Warriors did snap their 5-game losing streak last night when they lost by 5 to Los Angeles Clippers. However, losing by 5 to the team that's currently in the top 5 of the Western Conference is not bad. It's really showing me a lot of progression for the Golden State Warriors, but there's still some lingering issues in the fact that Steph Curry had another 40-point game last night, and there really wasn't any help except for Brandon Podziemski coming off the bench to add 25 points. However, we do have an injury update that could possibly provide some sort of help for the Golden State Warriors, and that's with Chris Paul, who has been reported to be ramping up the intensity of his workouts, and now he'll be participating in limited fashion in practice. He's going to have a nice all-star break, rehabbing and recovering, and he's going to be reevaluated in 10 days. If you guys do remember, he's been out with a hand injury he had surgery for, and then he had numerous bolts and brackets placed in his hand. So obviously that's going to take a long time to recover, but thankfully GP2 and Moses Moody have returned since then. But the real question here is that, yes, Chris Paul is going to add some depth to the Golden State Warriors, primarily in their second rotation, but how can the Warriors get over that hump? While the win streak was fun, I don't want it to be this hot streak that ebbs and flows and comes and goes. I want the Warriors to finally be over that 500 hump and to stop messing around with the under 500 and over 500, as now they're 26-26 on the season. So we're going to talk about how the Warriors can get over the hump on today's show. But first, look, our goal today is 200 comments on today's video. It's been a while since we've had over 200 comments, and I love reading your opinions here on Warriors Today by Chat Sports. So why don't you guys just go ahead and show the Warriors some love? They just went 5 games in a row, beat a lot of good opponents. So go ahead and spam your blue and yellow heart emojis to show Dub Nation you guys are still there. Well, after last night's loss, Steph Curry just didn't really hold back. He said, look, we're a very average team. Very average. Doesn't get it done in this very extra league. We need to make a run. Hopefully we bounce back tomorrow, and after the All-Star break, hit a stride where we win every game at home and steal a few on the road. I know there's been so many distractions this season that a lot of people forget how great the Warriors were last year in the Chase Center. They went 33-8 at home. You come into the Chase Center, you are going to be intimidated. It's going to be an aggressive atmosphere from not only Dub Nation fans, but what the Warriors can do on their home turf. But this year, it's been very short of anything but that. They haven't been aggressive. Nobody fears coming into the blue and gold arena, which shouldn't happen. You should have a 5-point advantage right there just for hosting the team. So, while the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry want to get back on the good side of playing basketball, there could be some big changes coming that could help them externally. So after the Warriors tried to get LeBron James, Kelly Olynyk, and Alex Caruso during the trade deadline, of course, that didn't happen. All they did was get rid of Corey Joseph and pick up a second-round pick. There is still the buyout market and free agency that the Warriors can go out and help themselves increase their wins. Joe Lacob actually had something to say about the Warriors' expenses because, look, they have the highest payroll of any team in the NBA, $208 million. It costs over $100 million just to keep Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green together. So Joe Lacob actually talked about the Warriors' plans in terms of expenses, and he said everything's open. We have to be flexible. The goal is to not be a lottery team ever. The goal is to be competitive. The goal is to win, and ideally, if it's possible, to win championships or compete for championships. I love this mindset in terms of a GM. I want to win. I do not want any Golden State Warriors to go into the lottery shooting for the highest pick. Absolutely not. We want championships. That's what Dub Nation is used to. So, before I break down the top three targets the Warriors could possibly get in the buyout market or free agency, go on ahead and comment down below what you think they should get in the free agency market. Go on ahead and type a name down below. It can be any name that you think the Golden State Warriors are going to help them win a championship. But first, we are going to break down the buyout market just a little bit more in the second half of the show. And there is a player at the very end of the show you guys are going to want to stick around for because it could cause quite a stir in the Western Conference if the Golden State Warriors do obtain him. But first and foremost, I do got to tell you guys about Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. It is so much fun to play. I cannot express it enough. But just in case you guys live under a rock and don't know what Prize Picks is, I'll break it down for you. It's super easy. Just pick between 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less. That's it on a player's projected stats for that night. And they constantly have promotions going on because it's almost like they want you to win, because now from between February 12th and February 18th, they do have, if you win one entry a day, you move on to the next round. If you make it till February 18th, you'll win a share of $3 million in free entries. So I actually did go with a demon today, which is that little red guy right there. Harder pick, but bigger payout because Steph Curry's been hot the last 5 games. I have Steph Curry having more than 6.5 3-points made, and I know Dumb Nation is going to like that pick as well. But I also took the all-star Anthony Edwards to have more than 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists ahead of the all-star break. So these are my prize picks. If you guys want to make yours, super easy. All you have to do is go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Be sure to use promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100 and watch yourself win some real money in real time. I personally feel like a broken record. I've said this time and time again. The Golden State Warriors need a true big. They need to add height in the Western Conference. The top 5 teams in the Western Conference have a player over 7 foot. The tallest player on the Warriors is Kevon Looney, and he's pretty much been benched at this point by Steve Kerr. The Warriors need a true big. I cannot stress it enough. And unfortunately, because there was no trade for a true big, you've got to resort to free agency at the buyout market. Well, as you guys can imagine, it's pretty slim pickings. Let's go ahead and break down the top 3 targets I think the Warriors should go after. The first one is going to be not Brock Lopez, but his brother, Robin. Of course, he was traded away, and he's going to be on the buyout market here for the Sacramento Kings. Robin Lopez could be the epitome of a good backup center for the Golden State Warriors. Why? Because of his height right there. 7 feet automatically makes him the biggest guy on your roster, and you just need some intimidation. You need some rim protection down below in the paint, and 7 feet will definitely get you there. Not to mention, Robin Lopez is a great big to clean the glass every single night. Is he the best defender? Maybe not, which is unfortunate because the Warriors really do need some defense, and I do not trust him to take a 3-point shot, but nonetheless, I do like how he rebounds. He did not get the minutes that he deserved as a backup big in Milwaukee, so if you bring him to the Golden State Warriors, is he going to crack your top 5? Probably not with how Draymond Green's been playing, but can he come in the first rotation and add some height going up against bigger guys like the Joker? Absolutely. And he's an anticipated buyout option for the Sacramento Kings. You know how fun it would be to just stick it to the Kings and say, you gave him up, now he comes to us, and we're actually going to use him. But if you don't like Robin Lopez, what about this name that we haven't heard in a long time? Probably since the offseason, to be honest. Kai Jones. He was released from the Charlotte Hornets in October, and I will be honest, he's got some issues in terms of personality, I should say. He's got a little bit of a hard head, so that's mainly the reason why he hasn't been picked up just yet. But I'm going to talk about playing style right now. I do believe that Steve Kerr can definitely change a guy to be in the locker room, especially with veteran presence like Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. When I'm looking at Kai Jones, I'm seeing athleticism. I'm seeing either 3 points per game, 2 rebounds per game, half a block per game, which is fantastic for a 6'10" player, and he shoots about 56% from the field in his career. No, these stats are not going to jump off the paper, but he hasn't played since October. So my main concern here would be his physical ability and his emotional ability to really come into the Golden State Warriors, who have dealt with a lot of external drama this year. And the last thing the Warriors need is to bring in another dramatic guy. So they might be taking a risk here to bring in somebody like Kai Jones. But if you really want to get an athletic big down low, Kai Jones would be your guy. And if it's not your guy, this is a player I would want to come to the Bay Area. However, I'm going to specify this right now. A couple of dominoes have to fall in order to get somebody like PJ Tucker. The reason why he is not in free agency just yet, and he has not been bought out, is because there's been a little bit of drama happening in Los Angeles. Shams did tweet out the Clippers sent home 2 players, Bones Highland, who I personally would also love to pick up on the Warriors, and PJ Tucker from a road trip when they played the Warriors last night. Sources say they're both expected to rejoin the team after the All-Star break. If you're sending guys home like they were bad on a field trip and you got to call their parents to come pick them up, something's not working in that organization, which is why there's been no buyout just yet, but I feel like there could be. Let's break down what PJ Tucker would bring to the Golden State Warriors, and I know, these numbers are just so great you couldn't even hold your breath. 1.2 points per game, 2.5 rebounds per game, nearly assists a game, and he's shooting 28% from the field. My goodness, why are people fighting over PJ Tucker at this point? Sarcasm if you couldn't tell. I do think PJ Tucker has the most experience, though, especially coming from a team that's a Western Conference contender right now. He, of course, has fallen off the wagon in the last couple of years. He's been on numerous teams, including the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't think he's in his prime. Let me rephrase that. I know he's not in his prime, but we're looking for backup big men that can just put some thickness and some height in the paint. But Tucker does have an $11 million player option next year with the Los Angeles Clippers, which leads me to why they might not buy him out this year. So there are actually reports out there that PJ Tucker, there hasn't been any buyout conversation just yet with the Los Angeles Clippers. But since that last tweet from Shams saying that it's really not going well in the organization for PJ Tucker and LAC, it makes me think maybe that conversation will come after the All-Star break. And if that conversation does happen, and the minute you guys see a Woj bomb about PJ Tucker has been released from the Los Angeles Clippers, I want the Golden State Warriors to make a call. But here's where you guys come in. What do the Warriors need in order to be able to make the playoffs? Do you think it's a big? Do you think it's a backcourt addition? Do you think there should be another wing? Do you think it's somebody of a defensive asset or a shooting asset? Go on ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want the Warriors to go to the playoffs this year, and what player can make that happen. While you guys are doing that, go on ahead and hit that sub button for me. If anything happens, if PJ Tucker, Kai Jones, or Robin Lopez do come to the Golden State Warriors, we're going to report about it right here. So all you guys have to do is hit that sub button for me.